Well, I mean, I took off from Salt Lake, right? I was here in Provo at the MTC. Took a tiny little plane, went to a small airport in Burbank where we actually landed on the air. Like, we got off the airport down those steps. We didn't walk through any like terminal thing. We just went out on the steps, small airport. And I remember seeing the APs were there. A couple of zone leaders were there, and it's kind of a surreal experience because I had never really been to that part of California, so it's kind of exciting. And we showed up we drove about a half hour to the building where all of our luggage was going to be and all of our stuff to meet our companions. And I remember we were in a cultural hall, and everyone was kind of meeting their trainers. And I met my trainer, and I'll say his name. He's kind of infamous or famous in the mission. I won't say infamous. He's famous. He's a good missionary. I'm Elder Durfee, and he was from Spokane, Washington. And he's like, yeah, he just told me the plan for the day, go home, get our luggage, put it away, head out to and then just start going. We weren't about to study much or anything. We were just going to go. We had dinner that night. And mind you, I was Spanish speaking. I guess I didn't clarify that. So no Spanish, didn't know anything, and I was going to have dinner with about 8 other missionaries and a pretty popular family in the ward. And I couldn't understand a thing. But I think the food we had, I think they were called sopes. No, huaraches is what they were called. And they're just giant tortillas. And on top is like rice and beans and meat and salsas and stuff like that. And it was delicious. Wow, it was great. Couldn't understand anybody speaking Spanish, but I just focused on the food. That night I was starving. And that was my first day. After that we went home, we planned for the next day, went to bed. And I don't remember if I slept well that night. Knowing myself, I probably didn't, because it was all very new and exciting, and I didn't sleep well and new places. And we were in a 4-man apartment, and there was 4 of us, and it was just very interesting. Our apartment was full of cockroaches. Beware of there will be things you're not used to. I would definitely say if you haven't gone to college or school or been away from home, that first few days in the MTC and the first few days in the mission field are going to be a shock, probably. But you'll get used to it. Cockroaches, maybe not so much. We used to burn them with fire and aerosol cans. Don't do that. That was my first day. And then it was really hot. I remember being on the bike the first week, and it was like the hottest part of summer already. And it must have been like early June-ish when it was like 115 degrees, and I was dying. And my companion had been on a bike for 16 months, and so he just would cruise, and I was just like so tired, out of breath. So that was a lot of fun. We'd have to go home and change halfway through the day because we were sweating and gross and out all day, but that was an exciting time. Being really tired and run down, it made you feel like, you're doing something worthwhile. And even if people don't talk to you or you don't know how to talk to them, at the end of the day you feel you've accomplished something and it was worth it. But that was the first couple of days, and that lasted. We were together for about, I want to say two transfers. It's about 12 weeks. And there's other things I can go on about that companionship. I learned a lot in that companionship. That was probably the first 6 months, probably where I learned the most on how to get along with companions, how to get along with investigators, how to ask the right questions, how to successfully do a companionship inventory, things like that I had never ever had to do in my life before, because if I wanted to escape someone that bothered me, I would escape them. I would leave. But not being able to leave your companion, you got to work things out. So just prepare for that, I'd say.